Alrighty, so this is going to be a reading for my Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me back on my YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and see what messages you need to hear for this month, okay? We're going to just pull some energy, see what your spirit guides have to say. Keep in mind, every message I say may or may not pertain to you specifically. You definitely do want to use a level of discernment. Some will be for you, some won't. All right, if you do want a personal session with me, that information will be listed below. And let's go ahead and get straight into it. Aquarius, what are some messages they need to hear for January 2020? So first card out, we do have the Servant card. A lot of you need to make sure that when it comes to certain relationships around you, you want to make sure that you're not giving so much of yourself to the point where you're not getting anything back in return. This is like being overly giving. Okay. This is like, oh, I'm here at your aid 100%. Anything that you need, I'm here. For a lot of you, you're an awesome friend. You're a really awesome friend, but you need to know when there's a need for you to establish boundaries, because for a lot of you, you're such a good person that people take advantage of that and people don't understand it. And this makes it harder for you to kind of progress because of the fact that some people may take advantage of the fact that you are so giving and that you are willing to be there wholeheartedly whenever there is instances they need your help. For some of you as well, if you are in a situation where you may need some help, you do need to be honest with the people around you, especially if this is on a mental level. You don't want to just brush that off to the side and act as if everything's good, and you being there for other people when you're really the one that needs the support, if that makes sense. Okay. For some of you as well, if you work like a service job, like where you are like a waitress or like doing maid services or anything of that nature, you may be wanting to leave that industry. And I feel like it may be time for you as well. Your spirit guides are saying it's time for you to leave that industry as well. Aquarius for January 2020. What else? Consistency. So for a lot of you, this is you guys needing to stay on top of yourself. There could be moments where you're just an emotional wreck. Okay, let's just be real. You could be at times an emotional wreck, and this could kind of make you want to go into hiding and really disassociate with a lot of things that don't work out for you. And for a lot of you, what ends up happening, if it's not even a situation where things aren't working out for you, this is just disassociating from what important things you need to handle, and this makes your foundation kind of faulty. So a lot of you need to make sure that you're being more consistent, especially when it comes to the things you're working on, your creative endeavors, work in general. This is also being consistent in your thoughts, not going back on your word. If you say one time, look, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and then you turn around and you deal with it, who are you fooling at that point? So this is making sure that you are being honest with yourself in moments of your faith being tested. And this is also, like I said, being consistent in the way that you are and in your work efforts as well for a lot of you. Okay. Ooh, whoa. All right. So we have some cards flying. They flying. Okay. So we do have let's look at these two. So we have surprise and we have the falseness card. Interesting. So with this, this is you guys really needing to make sure that you are staying on top of your finances. Like, okay, if you're the type of person where you just swipe, you don't pay attention to what exactly is coming out of your account, you want to be careful because you may have like some weird charge that may come up. You want to check your bank statements. Check your bank statements and make sure that they're accurate, because there may be like some weird charge that may need to be disputed. That's for somebody specifically. For others of you, this is like making sure, again, that you don't have people around you who are looking at you as a financial money bag, where it's like you give them the money because you know they need it, or you just give them money just because, and they're just using that as a way to kind of fuel themselves. So be careful of the people you have around you, especially with the falseness card. I hate seeing this card in readings. For a lot of you, you could have a lot of people around you who act like they're super sweet, But then if you move the wrong way, they're ready to scratch you, tell you about yourself, burn you. Okay, so make sure you don't have people around you who are just super fake nice. And you'll be able to tell if people are being fake nice around you, if their energy is faulty, you'll be able to tell. Nip it in the bud. Don't even entertain it. Make sure you're looking at the situation for what it is. Okay. Now, when it comes to anybody who may have pets, you want to make sure that you don't have so many things going on to the point where you're neglecting your pets as well. Because for some of you, your pets are feeling kind of lonely. All right. So that's for somebody specifically out there. Okay, so I also have this card. So we do have scholars. So for a lot of you, you could be in school right now. What I will say is you need to make sure that you're staying on top of your studies, especially if you're doing way too much right now, like working a job. You have family responsibilities, just a whole bunch of stuff, a business. If you have all that going on, a lot of you could fall short in your studies and you will regret it. So make sure you're setting aside some time to study. This is like setting aside at least an hour a day to handle your studies and just brush up on your information, especially if you do have a huge test that's coming up anytime soon, or any sort of like huge financial assignment. You want to make sure you're staying on top of that. Another thing I am seeing, you really want to make sure that you're not feeling controlled by other people and their perspectives of you. For a lot of you, you're not even doing things the way you want to do them anymore. This could be due to the fact that you just have an image to uphold and you feel like you're under like this control of your own ego. That's super deep. For a lot of you, you're being controlled by your ego, and a lot, like, you need to check in with yourself and make sure that you are not being ruled by your ego, because that's why some of you are feeling unhappy. You're doing things out of ego, not out of, okay, I love this, if that makes sense. It's more out of, oh, well, I get this out of it. Okay. That could be in a job, a relationship, what have you, where you may have the upper hand in the situation, but it may be because of your ego having like the driving seat. That's very interesting. All right, so let's pull some of these. All right, Aquarius for January 2020. What do they need to hear? Ooh, okay, so we have the all tied up card. So this would be like the Eight of Swords in the regular tarot. This is you guys needing to come out of this victim mentality. If there's any sort of situation where you feel like your hands are tied or you have no control, you need to make sure that you're looking at it from a different perspective, and also just not feeling this way, because this is what's actually keeping you stuck, your own thought process. Alrighty. Also, when we do come into these moments of feeling like our hands are tied, the best thing for us to do is to kind of surrender to our own thoughts and understanding where the hell they're coming from, because there's a reason for why they're coming in. And instead of just being like, well, oh, this is not working out, this isn't working out, it's understanding why it's not working out. And once you understand the why, now you can see how you can make it work for you moving forward. So if you're going to go into this space, make sure that you're going into this space to figure shit out, not to be a victim. Okay, that's for somebody out there. Aquarius for January 2020. Let's see. Ooh, anxiety. Yeah. This is overthinking things. This is your mind playing tricks on you. This is just overthinking, staying up too late, processing too many thoughts at a moment where it's like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Stop thinking about the what ifs and think about what can change for you if you fall into alignment here. All right, let's clarify this. Action. Yeah, you guys need to take some action on your situation. You can't sit back anymore and just think about it. Okay, if this is a relationship where you feel like you're stuck in it and it's not helping you progress, move on. If this is a job where you feel like, oh, every time I come to work, I hate this shit. Like, I hate it and I'm just tired of it. And every time you go to work, you may be anxious that you may lose your job or something because it just may be too much to think about or too much that's on your plate. You need to take some action. If you're not making money right now Instead of being stressed out about, well, when am I going to get a job? This is taking action to actually get the job. All right. Everything starts first in the mind. It starts with thought. Then it starts with that inspiration to go about changing it. Then it goes to actually taking the action, and then you start to see things manifest physically. So that is important for you to understand here. Okay, so we have caring connections and door to personal healing and happiness. So yeah, for a lot of you, if this is a relationship we're talking about, you really need to go into a space of really being in check with yourself. This is not about the relationship. This is about you personally being at peace with yourself, and also not carrying any sort of like baggage or hurt from the past. If you're trying to attract new love into your life, you can't attract it if you're still holding on to old burdens. If you're trying to get a new job, this is you being balanced within your perspective and actually walking through the door of understanding that it's only going to happen for you once you take power into your own hands. A relationship also may need a break right now so that you guys can actually, again, heal from any sort of disappointments, and also find your own personal happiness without the relationship so that you don't become codependent on it as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards. We're going to finish up. What are some final messages that my Aquarius need to hear? So we do have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. If you're dealing with an earth sign, this person, don't even invest your time and energy into this person anymore. I feel as if a lot of you, if you've been really trying to remain patient and been trying to rebuild this, or even just work towards building a relationship with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this is realizing what situations are just not going anywhere as far as progressing to be something that's stable or something that's concrete. I do have the Hermit card in reverse. If this is a Virgo in particular, this person has issues with self-realization. Like, they're not realizing where they're wrong in certain aspects. So if you want this person to realize where they're wrong, and so that you guys can fix the relationship, they don't want to acknowledge that they're wrong. They don't believe that they're wrong, okay? Others of you, this is like you possibly want to speak to this Virgo. You want to make sure that you've really thought it through, because I feel like if you really look at this from the right perspective, you'll see that it's time for you to really let this situation go. Okay. If this is not even a Virgo for a lot of you, this is just making sure that you are really going into a space of introspection in regards to what you keep investing your time into. A lot of you as well, you do need to go into a space of self-discovery, because you've been holding on to a lot of inner troubles for a while now. And until you deal with that, you're going to come off kind of defensive. Okay, that's for somebody out there. Five of Pentacles. If this is about a job situation, you need to change your perspective on that and really hone in on changing this situation around. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. A lot of you have been avoiding moving on from a career that you're not happy with. What I will say is, if you're not making a blueprint for yourself or a plan for yourself, in the long term, that's going to affect you. So at this moment, I would really make sure that you are handling some responsibilities here. If this is about a relationship, possibly with a Cancer for some of you, that person's a liar. I'm going to just be real with you. That person's not truthful. This person's not honest about certain things. And for a lot of you, I wouldn't even give that person the time of day. All right. You need to make sure people that you deal with in a love sense are actually stable and they have actually something to offer. Okay. Five of Wands in reverse. The Fool. Eight of Cups in reverse. For a lot of you, it's time for you to let go of the problems, the BS, and really take a leap of faith out into the unknown. Because right now with the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is you not being emotionally satisfied, but you're not walking away. All right. So I'm going to stop right here. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope that I was able to give you guys some sort of information as to what you guys may be going through. If you do want a personal session with me, all that information will be listed below, as well as my information to reach me in my email or to find me on Instagram. And thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.